Peace to the gods and goddesses. Tonight, I'm going deep in the astral plane, okay? There's been a war in the astrals, okay? With the star seeds, with those that are chosen versus the deletes, all right? And a lot of those that are tapped in actually know it and can feel it, all right? And some of the chosen are appearing in schools, almost like Hogwarts, all right? Where we're practicing our skills like telekinesis, clairvoyance. We're actually learning. We're dabbling into different divination practices and things of that nature in the astral plane, okay? And I've been utilizing the Blue Lotus, and I have been tapping in, having a lot of outer body experiences. And recently, this rising, I actually spoke with a divine goddess who actually told me that these deletes' primary objective is to silence that inner voice inside of us. Their objective is to completely disconnect you from source and your higher self. One of the biggest ways they did it was through religion, okay, through making you look outside yourself and making you believe things like astral projection and lucid dreaming and things of that nature is demonic, all right, making you think that anything in reference to the metaphysical realm is considered or should be deemed demonic. You know what I mean? This is one of the ways they make you disconnect yourself from your primordial essence and your true godhood. A lot of you probably been seeing a lot of shadow figures, all right? A lot of different things out the corner of your eye. You would see something walk past, you would think something there, you'll look and it is gone. This is because of dimensional overlay, all right? The dimensions are getting closer and closer. So this is why you see things in higher dimensional realms outside your peripheral spectrum now, okay? Now, another thing that you're going to start noticing now is you're going to start hearing things. You may hear whispers, all right? You may hear your name. You may hear different things like whispers and things of that nature. This is also because of the dimensional overlay, okay? Pay attention to things that you're going to hear in your mind's eye. You're going to start seeing different things as well, all right? We're tethering to higher dimensional planes of consciousness and you're shifting, all right? So these are some of the ascension symptoms that you're going to notice as we actually transition, all right? And a lot of us that are tapped in are actually going to war in our astral plane but don't remember it. We don't have the mental fortitude or the ashe, the energy to actually remember. But those that are tapped in remember. I remember my excursions in the astral plane. All right, where we're fighting with military, we're fighting with we're going in subterranean bases and freeing children off of 18-wheelers and different trucks and things of that nature. These are things that are happening in the astral plane. All right, and oftentimes I'm linking with different gods and goddesses, and we're all telepathically in sync and telepathically and telekinetically in sync. All right, we're lifting up things with our mind. Our bullets can't hurt us. We have the ability of actually creating energy shields and things of that nature. These are all the things that I'm seeing in the astral plane. Again, tonight I'm going higher, all right? I cut back on the greenery at night, all right? I love my cannabis. I love my Mary as well. But one of the things that I notice is that it affects your REM sleep, which is your rapid eye movement. And it affects your ability to ascertain a theta frequency, which is a vibratory state between 4 and 8 hertz. All right, this is when you are successfully remembering your dreams or having good dream recall. The cannabis, unfortunately, has a negative or adverse effect on your ability to have effective dream recall. I'm not saying it's impossible, okay, for those that smoke the cannabis, all right? And cannabis isn't from here. It's from the Canis Major. The cannabis is from Sirius, all right? It was actually brought here by the Shaggies. All right, and this is from the Orion star constellation. It's a phenomenal herb, but it's been tampered with by the government now. They have been putting toxic metals, and they've been trying to weaponize the cannabis. Once they made it legal, they unfortunately have been tampering with it. Again, I still love the cannabis, but you just have to try to be a little bit cautious of it when you really want to experience things like astral projection or lucid dreaming. Now, currently, Nibiru is here, all right? Nibiru is here, all right? This is why there's been the fires that took place recently in California transpired, the red iron oxide. There's a lot of different orbs and things of that nature that people are seeing. The Galactic Federation is also here, all right? There's a lot of different extraterrestrials that are actually here. Now, interterrestrials as well that are here on this planet. They're very interested in our ascension process and what's actually taking place. We are in the midst of the Hopi prophecy currently. Now, one thing I want to say is if you have a soul, you have to remember that you actually exist as an ethereal being of light. All right. While you are walking around in this physical existence, worrying about bills and mundane subject matter, in reality, you actually exist as an angelic being of light and higher dimensional planes of existence. And you're just projecting this existence from a higher dimensional plane. All right. And you came down here simply to cleanse karma and to also strengthen your primordial mind and to learn. All right. Prison is a prison planet, but it's also a school of some sort in which you came down here to learn. Anytime you inhabit the physical body and take on the essence of matter, at that particular point, you're learning. All right. You're learning the tug of war between mind versus matter, mind over matter, so to speak. You learn how to basically deal with the emotions in this physical avatar, in this human vessel. The thing you want to remember is that you're infinite. You always existed, all right? The beings that you hear about that actually fight in the Orion War, you're the same beings. We always been fighting these malevolent factions, all right? This isn't your first incarnation. You always been here. You always existed. Your energy is infinite, all right? You just have to remember who you actually are, all right? And in the time when you think you're asleep, when your physical body is asleep, you actually travel to you soul projecting. You travel home, all right, to where you actually derive, and you're fighting these physical wars with these malevolent factions, all right, who are opposed to the law of one and opposed to the Emerald Order, all right, and the Anuhazi. All right, you're actually fighting these malevolent factions. You just don't remember it. I'm here to jog your memory and remind you of who you actually are. Tonight, I would love to see you in an astral plane, all right? I give classes in the astros, all right? And I teach and I talk and I also learn and receive tutelage in the astral plane as well, all right? We build in the astral plane. I would love to see you. Highly recommend decalcifying and activating the pineal gland. You should be utilizing herbs like Haritaki. You should be using herbs like ginkgo biloba as well as lion's mane. Herbs like ginkgo biloba is great for decalcifying as well as activating the pineal gland. It's not a day that go by that I don't take the lion's mane mushroom. This is phenomenal for dream recall. Elixirs like Ormus is also phenomenal for dream recall. Ormus is an orbitally rearranged monatomic element. Literally after 1 week of use, you would notice a substantial increase in dream recall. I also use colloidal silver every day as well. Always ensure I have the necessary trace minerals and I refrain from genetically modified organisms. Also highly recommend sun gazing. The pineal gland is composed of piezoelectric crystals called magnetites, dendrites, and calcites, all right? And they absorb light photons. So it's essential that you're sun gazing and that you're actually stepping outside of the artificial blue light radiation and that you're actually absorbing light photons. Sitting in complete darkness promotes the production of neuromelanin. I actually recommend utilization of a blindfold if you can, okay, to block out any artificial light from affecting the pineal gland, okay, because you have to remember your melanocytes are like a black hole. It absorbs all light and processes that at nighttime, all right? So at nighttime when you're in the process of sleep and you're going in between the beta state, the alpha state, the delta state, the theta state, and things of that nature, you really want to try to block out any artificial blue light radiation that may have adverse effects on the pineal gland's ability to properly facilitate and transmute light. All right. And when you utilize things like the Remy Sleep Eye Mask, I love. All right. I love it. And it does amplify your ability to lucid dream and things of that nature. But it also blocks out the artificial light that's coming in and things of that nature. It does block out the light. And it doesn't even have to be this sleep eye mask. It can be any blindfold. It's going to be essential for production of neuromelanin and blocking out artificial blue light radiation. Now, believe it or not, we can actually destroy these deletes from the astral plane, gods and goddesses. This is what the CIA have been doing, all right? And we're very powerful, all right? They don't like this message getting out. All right, the CIA actually tries to hijack the chosen ones and a lot of the starseeds' dreams. As I made mention of, they'll send different dream characters and dream agents in your dream to try to prevent you from actually ascending or ascertaining access to the Akashic records. They'll do that, all right? They'll send dream agents. But as we ascend in consciousness, we're getting more powerful, all right? As you do things like utilize things like Haritaki, lion's mane, and decalcify your pineal gland, as you practice in the sun, as you train, as you begin to train and stretch and exercise and begin to, practice it. And one of the things is ensuring that you have no fear in these alternate transcendental states of consciousness, going into them without any fear, realizing that energy doesn't die, it only recycles, and that nothing could kill you. Once you go in it with that mindset, then nothing can defeat you. Then you have the ability of overpowering anything because you are the god or goddess that you've been looking for. All right. The whole concept of religion is a fallacy. All right. Anything in regards to Jesus, Allah, all of that. Allah is I, self, arm, leg, arm, head. Islam is I, self, Lord, and master. The concept of Jesus is the pineal gland. The 12 disciples is the 12 pair of cranial nerves. All of that was basically pertaining to yourself, your inner self. All right. And once you know that, then you have the ability of basically conquering anything. As we elevate in consciousness, we are literally going to destroy this system from the astral plane. All right. This is exactly what's going to happen. Enough of the gods and goddesses are going to level up to the point where we're going to begin to destroy things in the astral realm, and you're going to notice it take materialization in the 3-dimensional plane. This is what's going to start happening. You see yourself meeting up with different gods and goddesses in the astral plane. It's not just a dream. That's really happening. That's really taking place. All right. Begin to notice that and realize that that's real. Okay. No, it's time that we stop looking at our transcendental states of consciousness as just dreams and realize that we are really multi-dimensional beings. And these events that are actually taking place are really isolated incidents in time. All right. We got to start viewing it as that. As such, because that's what it actually is. We are multi-dimensional beings.